Right, who started the spamming of the emojis? There is non-members in this chat who have to put up with the spamming of your emojis. They're here to enjoy themselves, right? We're here for a watch-along, no for an emoji spamming session. Ladies and gentlemen, we should be ready to go. It's time for Watchalong 2 of the season. And if I bring myself up, we should be live now for Cork City against Celtic in pre-season friendly number 2. We go away from home tonight to Cork. And I'm quite looking forward to this one, to be quite honest. And why am I looking forward to this one? Why am I looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to seeing Hayato Inamura playing at left back. That's all I'm watching for tonight. That's it. That's the only reason I'm watching this game this evening. Now, interestingly enough, Brendan Rodgers is currently speaking, and I want to hear what he's saying. So, give me a minute. Oh, here we go. He's talking about transfers. Here we go. Here we go.
Either in or out with the club.
Yeah, nothing concrete. I think there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes.
Can you hear that?
And as I said, the whole recruitment team and operational team are working very, very hard. So lots of irons in the fire. But like I say, we hope that we can make that happen over the coming weeks.
You talked about how special it is.
Right,
to,
so a lot of
to be
irons
here
in the
in
fire.
A GAA
That is
ground,
words.
which is something quite different for all of us, I think. Did you have any background as a hurler or a Gaelic footballer?
Right, okay, all the interesting stuff's out the way. They're talking about hurling now. They're talking about hurling, and I'm not Irish. So hurling doesn't really matter much to me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in. We're going to go through the team news so that we can start all our conversation and nonsense. So let me get the team up on screen for you now, and we can quickly dart through that, and then I'll get proper involved with you all in the live chat. It's nice to see that we've already got over 200 live viewers, and we're not even at kick-off. So thank you to everybody tuning in tonight. I'm sure that number will go up through the game, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot of nonsense, just like we did against Queen's Park. And I want to just keep it as active as possible. We're going to have fun. I mean, this is one of those games similar to the last game, where there's not an awful lot to take seriously tonight. You know, it's not. It's a pre-season friendly against Cork. It's not like it's not a game that is necessarily one that we're going to leave talking about standout performances and players who. It's a friendly against Cork, and on that note, let's have a look at the team for that friendly against Cork. At the starting 11, Sin Salo returns to the Celtic fold. He is in goals for us today, which means Ross Doohan drops back to the bench. The back four, and as I said, the standout here is that Hayato Inamura. Audio falling apart. Have I left the desktop audio running? I have. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me okay? My audio's in bits. What about now? Can you hear me now? Did I not mute Brendan? Have I been sitting talking over Brendan? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We should be back. Back four, Donovan Trusty, Dane Murray and Hayato Inamura. As I said, I'm very, very, very excited to watch Hayato Inamura today, just to see what all the fuss is about, to see if there's anything that is remotely concerning about this £250,000 signing. Should we be protesting the Celtic board for making, how dare they go and sign this 250 grand Japanese left back? How dare they? So I'm looking forward to seeing Hayato Inamura today. He'll be under the microscope. Midfield three, Callum McGregor, Engels and McCowan, the same midfield three that played the first half against Queen's Park on Friday night. And James Forrest comes into the front three to join Kenny and Summers. So there is your starting 11, and I would assume similar to what we've seen on Friday, there might be a full rotation, a full change going into that second half. So we have options that range between Doohan, Clark, Rice, Osmond, Montgomery, Frame, McPherson, Robertson, Ewer, McCardle, Hatton, Turley, Welsh and Izaguzo. So there you go. There is the team. And as I said, the most exciting thing about this game is the fact that we do indeed have Hayato Inamura starting for us. So if people keep joining and asking what the 11 is, that's it. You've had your whack. I'm not going over it again. We're waiting for kick-off now. They're currently doing an interview with the Cork City manager, Jerry. Can't remember his name now. It slipped my head. Anyway, thank you, Connor, for kicking off the donations for this evening. He says, Ryan, Tyrell Malacia to Celtic, your opinions. And Balikwisha is a done deal by the end of the week or next week. I think that Balikwisha will be a done deal by Friday. Well, no, not a done deal by Friday. I think Balikwisha will be in Glasgow by Friday. And I said this a number of times. We'll know if it's happening or not by Friday. But I think he'll be in Glasgow to do a medical by Friday evening. And in regards to Malacia, I knew that was going to be a big one that would come up in this stream this afternoon. I knew that was one that a lot of people would be asking me for. Look, listen, it's no secret that I like Man United, so I'd like to think that Tyrell Malacia is one that I have a little bit more to talk about and say, listen, I think he'd be fine as an option. I don't think that the story doesn't... People are getting a bit carried away. The story, the title and the thing is, Man United offer him for £3 million to Celtic. I don't think I think they've just offered him out in general for £3 million and people have ran away with it. I don't think he'll be a Celtic player. If he was, I think he'd be a good backup option. My only concern with him comes in the same sort of concerns as Greg Taylor, and that's when it comes to Europe. He's small, he's not the paciest because of the injuries. I think that we'd just see the same problems with Taylor. However, on that note, I mean, it's not going to be Tyrell Malacia that's playing in European games. It's Kieran Tierney that's going to be playing in European games. So it doesn't really matter. I think it'd be a good option to have. We'll see if anything comes of it. Honestly, I think that people are getting a wee bit too carried away with it right now because I don't think until there's something that suggests that Celtic are actively interested in him and actively pushing for him, I don't think there's that much in it, to be quite honest. But thank you, Connor, for the donation, mate. It is much appreciated. If you do want to donate, you can do it through the stream. If you want to become a channel member, then head down to that QR code down here. I can never... Why am I so bad at pointing to things on the screen? The QR code will link you to become a channel member if you want to do that. And we appreciate anything. As you can see in the chat as well, our lovely and amazing moderator, Saint Morto. We have a 118 Discord community. It's fun. It's a laugh. If you want to come in and talk about transfers, if you want to come in and talk about the games on a week-to-week basis, if you want to come in and talk about anything, we have a community full of like-minded people. Come in, have some fun. It's a friendly, safe space, and there's plenty of Celtic fans in there to communicate with. The teams are now making their way out onto the park, so the friendly will be kicking off very, very quickly. I have a lot of comments flying through. We'll be trying to talk about everything as this game goes on. And LOI talk, League of Ireland talk. Thank you. I'm glad to be doing a watch along. I'll be having some fun tonight, and I'm excited to watch Cork, to be quite honest. I'm just as excited to see what Cork have to offer as what Celtic have to offer tonight. You know that the League of Ireland has been on quite a good rise over these past couple of years, hasn't it? And it's been very interesting from the outside to watch in. And I hope that rise continues over in the League of Ireland. So I'm looking forward to this tonight. I really wish I could have made it to this game tonight. I really wanted to go. I think the facilities, the stadium look fantastic. I just would have loved to have been there, but sadly that couldn't happen. Kirsten, no football training for me tonight, so actually allows me to watch the game along with you lot. Looking forward to seeing Inamura. Yes, I think we're all looking forward to seeing Inamura for one reason or another. But it's good to have you in, Kirsten. Welcome to the stream. Think Celtic, Ryan, I have a question for you. What is the best way to get a Celtic channel out there if you do like transfer news and stuff? Because obviously you're very successful. How do I do it? Perseverance, accuracy, and good opinion. Building a YouTube channel takes patience. I say the same thing to everybody else. I didn't do this overnight. I've been doing this for nearly 10 years. So patience, quality, and accuracy is literally the number one tip I give everybody is patience. You're not going to get 50,000 subs overnight, but just go for it, man. Try our best. Not that I need more competition. Thank you, John, from New York City. I love that. All the best from NYC. Thank you for the donation, John Anthony Gorman. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm a Philadelphia man. I was going to say, like, I don't know, go Knicks or something, but I can't bring myself to do it. And I'm not saying go Giants or Jets. So go Birds. But thank you. I appreciate you having me here, man. Thank you. Right, we do have a working stream this week, Matthew. We've had no problems. We are ready. I believe, is this national anthems that are on right now? Is this a national anthem? That is. What a cracking touch. We'll chant a soldier song. I didn't expect that. A wee national anthem, the pre-season friendly. Lovely jubbly. You know, that's one thing. People always go on about how they're scared of the Americanization of sports, right? But I am all up for a Flower of Scotland getting sung before a Scottish Cup final. as long as it's like a final between Inverness and Falkirk or something, you know, they at the end, you know. Anyway. We are nearly at kickoff. I will give you a quick reminder of the team for those who might be. We've now got nearly 400 live viewers. Thank you for tuning in. I will give you a quick reminder. I'm not going to bring the graphic up on screen because it will knock my stream off, probably, knowing my luck. So I'll just run through the starting 11 very, very quickly. Not that it's of great importance. Starting 11, Vinny Sinisalo is in goals. Back four of Donovan, Trusty, Murray and Inamura. A midfield three of Callum McGregor, Arne Engels and Luke McCowan. And the front three is Summers, Forrest and Kenny. We of course got options on the bench, mostly of B-team variety, but that is the team for Celtic as we get ready to start the game. You'll never walk alone playing over. I think it looks a magic day over there in Cork, and I'm glad that they've brought the kick-off time forward as well. It's a nice time to get a pre-season friendly done, rather than sit and wait until 7:45. See a lot of people asking about how you can watch tonight. There is two ways of watching. You can do what I'm doing and you can watch on Premier Sports. Sorry, I'm watching Celtic TV. You can do what I'm doing and watch on Celtic TV, or it is live on Premier Sports 1 as kickoff is ready. Keep in mind, I'll probably be behind, but we do have a timer. So you should know where I am. You should know where I am. I would say no spoilers, but what's the bloody point? There will be spoilers. There'll be plenty of them as Celtic do the huddle. As soon as kickoff starts, we'll get tucked into all the conversation. It's bloody roasting up here. I might need to open my window. I'm not gonna lie. It's a warm day in Glasgow today. 18 degrees as it currently stands. The window's been open. Might mess up the light in a wee bit, but I need some sort of draft coming in. I'm saying Steelers better than Eagles. Well, that's just lies. Super Bowl champs, baby. Right, we're coming up to kick-off here. Good attendance, good crowd at this game, as I expected. You know, people from all over Ireland will be travelling to Cork, up and down the country, and obviously a good amount will be coming over. And the game is underway. We have kicked off in Cork for Cork City against Celtic, and I tell you what, my stream is bloody as anything. I wish it would transform itself to HD suddenly. But Celtic do start the game with possession. And hopefully we see a bit more of a lively performance compared to what we've seen. Listen, it's a friendly, and I'll reiterate this point one more time. I don't get carried away with how things go in pre-season friendly games. I couldn't care if it's 1-0 or 10-0. But I think I think we could all agree that a more electric performance would be good of Celtic this afternoon or this evening. We're seeing Forrest, for example, back in the team. Let's hope he can bring some energy to the front three. And here's Hayato Inamura with his first pass in a Celtic shirt. Looked composed enough, since of course we're all spectating him. Great wee through ball here, but touched away by the Cork City defence, who get rid of the ball. As always, we'll talk about some absolute nonsense through this. Hello Damo, my man, how are you doing? Hi Ryan, party on Tillycairn when the Hoops win the Super Cup. I'll be there. You bring the supplies. I'll be there. Why is Ida no playing? Well, I didn't get the chance to listen to Brendan Rodgers pre-game. So if anybody wants to enlighten us, feel free. But I didn't catch what Rodgers said. Ida's not even on the bench. I don't know if he's maybe picked up a wee knock. He did say earlier on, I don't know if it's just to do with internationals. It might just be that, even though Adam Ida was used as obviously a big selling point for this game. But the situation, as Brendan Rodgers said earlier, was that internationals are only back into... I think they only came back into training on Friday. So they want to give them a full week at least before they get them back into playing these games. That's why we're not seeing Kieran Tierney yet. That's why we're not seeing... Oh, there's the house phone gone. Great. 2025, we've still got a house phone. Celtic carving out a chance here. Here's Inamura playing it inside for Summers, and it goes out of bounds. Is it a goal kick? Yeah, it is a goal kick. It seems Summers just couldn't get control of it. Not enough in the pass from Inamura, but nice thinking nonetheless. But what, as I was saying, was the internationals aren't quite back yet. That's why we're not seeing Johnston. Obviously, Vickers is still recovering from an injury anyway. Everybody who was out on international duty is is not ready to come back just yet. And I'm assuming that includes Adam Idah, unless there is an injury that I missed Brendan Rodgers disclose pre-game. But anyway, a couple of minutes into the game now, and Celtic are the ones that are chasing the ball right now as Cork approach their final third, trying to carve out a chance. Can they swing a shot? They can. Celtic do get rid of it in a scrappy fashion. Austin Trusty just tried to lamp at it, and now Celtic trying to go forward on the counter-attack, but it's offside. It looked as though Celtic were going to carve something there. They went forward with pace, they found the gaps, but Johnny Kenny, sadly, just offside. He'll obviously be looking to try and build on top of the goal that he got against Queen's Park on Friday. Plunge, we are wearing the hoops. We are Celtic in the hoops, Cork in black this evening. Idah has the shits, says Brandon. What an injury update that would be. Imagine that. Rodgers just came out totally honest about it. He has the shits. He's not playing. You know? So running down his legs. If he went out in the park, it'd be a disaster. We're keeping them in the changing room. Incorrigible Frog. You have a house phone. My dad shat himself when ours went. Aye. Yeah, house phone still exists in this house, sadly. Still a necessity for the audience. Right, here we go. Celtic looking to make something too much in the pass from Young Summers there. It goes out for a goal kick. Celtic the only team with a chance thus far? Nah, I wouldn't even stretch it to that. Nobody's really carved out any sort of chance as of yet, a few minutes into the game. Watching from Indonesia, Mr. M. I love that. The other night we had people in from the Philippines and everything. It's nice to see someone tuning in from Indonesia. Welcome, Mr. M. It's nice to have you. God bless. When are we announcing the away kit? Would have thought it had been announced by now. I know, it's a strange one. I really thought, but it's not down to Celtic, it's down to Adidas. Adidas have their own in-house strategies. I assume we might get the first teaser this week, and I think it might be launched next week. But it's not down to Celtic when the shirts get announced or released. That it's all Adidas who take charge of all of that. They have their strategies, they have their marketing campaigns, and of course they'll be working on a schedule where they'll be like, okay, I think today, for example, the Lyon home shirt got released, and Lyon are one of their major clubs. So when it comes to major clubs, they'll have it all penciled out. They'll have a calendar where they'll be like, okay, we'll do Lyon's on the 8th of July. Tomorrow they'll probably do somebody's, whether it was, I don't know, say Liverpool, and then they'll have Celtic penciled in for a date, and I don't know what that date is. So Finland, welcome Miko from Finland, love that. Sending all the best up north, and here we go. Celtic now. James Forrest just didn't release the ball in time as Inamura was waiting, and now here is Inamura on the ball looking for an option. If somebody could just get free for him. He's now going to take it forward a wee bit. I like that. Plays it into the feet of whoever it was. I can't tell because my stream's in fucking 480p, but just amounted to nothing. It's another goal kick. Let's see. We seem to have learned how to pass forward. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Cork have played a very open game so far, it must be said. They've played a very open game so far. I feel like there's a lot of gaps opening up for Celtic to try and exploit. I feel like Celtic are in a position where they've been allowed to play the forward pass a lot easier than what they were against Queen's Park, and I guess that's going to be a big difference. The Super Cup's on the line. The Cork Super Cup is on the line. I mean, come on, guys. You know, you want to win it. You want to win the Cork Super Cup, and Cork aren't going to sit back like Queen's Park did. Shout out for Kirsty, please, Ryan. My Indonesian girl laying here wearing the famous hoops. Shout out to Kirsty. Love that. Hello, Aaron. How you doing? Days like this, I know having a Premier Sports subscription is worth it. Do you have the subscription? Fair play to you, Aaron. Fair play to you. It's 38 on for Celtic. Who the bloody hell's 38? I don't know the numbers nowadays. I couldn't tell you. Who is 38 for Celtic? I don't know. Anyway, Celtic passing the ball nicely here. Austin Trusty sends it out to Inamura as we cross into Cork's half. Inamura opts to go back to Trusty. There we go. We've jinxed the forward passing. Big park here. Big surface to play on, which is probably suits Celtic a lot better. You think of the difference between playing on this pitch and playing on the pitch against Queen's Park at Lesser Hampden. Big difference. This suits Celtic more. And these are the sorts of pitches that you're expected to play on at the top level, not kind of Queen's Park stuff. And that's not a dig at Queen's Park as Celtic get a corner kick here. That's obviously not a dig at Queen's Park. For goodness sake, they're hardly going to have a full-sized pitch in the, you know, a Hampden-sized pitch or a Celtic Park-sized pitch. But, you know, these are the parks that were made to play Brendan Rodgers football on, parks this size. And I will say, the surface here, it looks good against Cork. Obviously, this is a stadium used for, I think, the GA events, isn't it? So, a bit of a crossbred facility, you could say. Celtic have a corner as Luke McCowan stands over it, sends it in. It's brought down, and somebody has to get in there and strike it. Just a little bit of nervousness in the Celtic attacking players, attacking that set piece. I mean, it was brought down. I don't know who it was that was there to kind of bring it down from McCowan's cross. It wasn't a great cross from McCowan, but it was brought down, and there was a real opportunity to strike at the ball, but there was a lack of communication, and Celtic just don't attack at the opportunity that presented itself. So it remains 0-0, and nothing comes of the corner kick. And it just reinforces the point to me that we should have been, one of the top targets for this window should have been a set piece taker. 38 is Dyson, so it is. That's right, of course it is. Honestly, see, is it just me? But shirt numbers stopped becoming a thing like that. I remember past the age of fucking 13. Like I'm terrible at remembering shirt numbers, unless it's like obvious. In my head, it is an obvious one. Fair play. That's my bad for not. But I just don't think about them. You know, I just don't think about shirt numbers. Celtic send the ball out wide. A bit of space opening up for Jamesy Forrest now as he runs forward. Cork trying to stand off him. The Celtic just pass it around the defenders. And here we go. A wee bit of space opening up as we get into the box, but cleared by Cork City. Falls back for Celtic. Struggling to bring it down on the surface though. A bit of bobbly football being played. And Cork will allow that one to go out for another goal kick. Would I take Malacia? Yeah, I wouldn't say no to him. I mean, the left back that comes in is a backup left back, and Malacia would be a good backup left back. I do have, as somebody who's watched him play at Manchester United, I do have a number of reservations about him, mostly injury related. But he's a good player, and he got that move to Manchester United for a reason, because when he was at Feyenoord, before that, he was brilliant. It's just he's been very, very unlucky at Manchester United. Jackie saying, still can't get a home shirt in a women's size without a sponsor on it. Adidas don't care. I was in the Celtic shop today, actually. I bought my... Do you know what? I done it. Remember the members stream the other night? Members, the FM stream. Remember I was talking about how I love that stupid fucking rave training top? I bought it. I done it. I dropped 60 beans on it. I'm part of the problem. I fell to the capitalist machine that's down the stairs. I bought it. I just wanted it badly. I love it. It should have been the third top. It should have been the third top. I got it today. Shout out to the couple of people who I met in the Celtic shop who said some very kind things about my channel. I appreciate that. If you by any chance are watching, to the couple of fellas that said hello. Aye. 10 minutes played. No real chances made as of yet. Still 0-0 as you can see on screen. Celtic, of course, with the lion's share of possession. They've been dictating the pace of the game, as per usual, but no real chance made yet. And I think, you know, it's to be expected when you're missing all your real attacking players, all your best attacking players. Forrest quite clearly still getting up to the speed of things in pre-season. Still looking, he needs that wee bit of edge to him. The Celtic just trying, as Brendan would say, change the point of attack here. Austin Trusty bringing the ball forward, sends it out wide. Can we maybe get something from it? Nope, it goes back to Trusty. It goes back to Trusty. Thoughts on us giving the number 8 shirt to forwards nowadays rather than midfielders? Woke nonsense. Here we go. Good chance for Celtic. Crossed into the box. And the header is missed by Johnny Kenny, who does retrieve it though, and Celtic will go back for seconds. Maybe if they could just get through, and they do. Here's a great chance for James Forrest. He puts it wide. James Forrest with the biggest chance of the game thus far. I think it might have took a touch off the goalkeeper because it's gone out for a corner kick, and it's the most exciting burst out of him in this opening 12 minutes. It was really well worked, to be honest, from Celtic. James Forrest dribbles round, uses Summers as a bit of a ricochet, and then he gets there, and it's a good save from the keeper, to be fair, because to be honest, that probably is going in. Now that I see it on the highlights, I was down playing it on original viewing. That's a really good save from the keeper. That was going in from James Forrest. The keeper gets down and puts himself in a brave position. And it must have been an offside because the keeper has the ball now. Did I miss? Did we miss the corner? It's now the keeper's got it down as if it's a goal kick, but he did make a save, unless the referees have just not made the right decision. Am I wearing it to Billie Eilish tonight? Absolutely. You couldn't pay me to go and see Billie Eilish. I think she's rotten. So, sorry to crush the dream, Aaron. Ryan FC 26 Celtic Career Mode. Listen, don't get me started on an EA Sports rant. Listen, this isn't the time. Hello, Celtic Boys 67. Good to see you. How many starts will Forrest get this season? I don't know. It's hard to put a number on that. I wouldn't expect it to be in the double digits, put it that way. Less than 10. Forrest will know that. He's moving in now to his last year as a Celtic player. The thing is, we're going to have to start talking about the big farewell. You know what? It's coming this year. Like it or not, the big farewell's coming for James Forrest. He enters his last year, and I'm pretty sure this will be his last year. I'm pretty sure of it. Unless, you know, he signs another year extension, but I just don't see it. Here we go, by the way. Celtic moving forward again. A pass out to Forrest. It's set him back a wee bit. I wish we could learn how to pass in front of players. Forrest curls one, but it's safe. It's another shot on target from James Forrest, but it's saved by the keeper. Safe hands. I usually totally ignore bounce games, but since I already have Premier, I suppose, Smell the Gov, you may as well shove it on. I usually wouldn't be bothered as well, but they're good. They're fun for these. I enjoy the watch-alongs. They are fun. They are fun. Ben Summers looks decent. He looks sharp. You know, he looks hungry. I think technically he's got a way to go in his game. But I think he looks sharp and he looks hungry, so hopefully they're working on that behind the scenes in the B team. As Cork make a hash of things defensively, the ball is won by Celtic. Pass sent over wide. And that was a good chance, a good opportunity for Celtic. Just didn't get a shot at the end of it. But Cork looking a wee bit nervy at the back there. A bit of a calamitous situation as Austin Trusty wins the ball here. Very clean from Trusty. He looked good there. Looked hungry to go and win the ball. And now Celtic going forward again. James Forrest on the right-hand side. The ball bobbles towards him. Tries to send in a cross, but he couldn't beat the first man. And Celtic will start again at the back. Trusty is very good in the air. Well, I'd like to hope so. He's about 6'3", the guy. You know, he needs to be stronger. He has to be more confident in his game, Austin Trusty. As a big Trusty fan, you know. He's a Philly boy, you know what I mean? But, you know, as a big Trusty fan, he needs to be more confident in himself. I think there's an air of nervousness around him, to be honest. If I played the new college football game, not yet. I'm going to buy it tonight and install it. I'll probably play it tomorrow. I've been so excited to get it, though, Bill Scotland. I'm really looking forward to playing it. I wonder what school I'll end up in this year. I say this year, I didn't really play last year's game. I think, where did I end up last year? Where did I end up? Was it in Illinois? I think it was one of the Illinois schools, if I remember right. But I didn't play it that much last year. Here we go. Celtic going forward. Enough talk about college football. James Forrest plays a pass in the box. A beautiful wee pass from Forrest. Weighted well. It goes out for a corner to Celtic. Everything, all the joy seems to be coming from that right-hand side. I mean, it's not... it doesn't take Einstein to figure out that the experience of Forrest is getting the most joy out of Celtic's front line. And here we go again from the corner kick. Wasted. And Cork City have a chance to strike on the counter here, by the way. It is 2 against 3, though. Celtic have 3 men back. The young man's done quite well, though. Here we go, by the way. Cork are going forward. They've done really well in this situation. To be a man down, they get a shot away, but it's blocked by Celtic. And Vinny Sinsalo will come out to try and... Oh, Vinny, jeez. A bit sloppy there from Celtic defensively. I tell you that. Kind of putting pressure on themselves. It was a 2-on-3 attack. You know, we had 3 men back, and the young Cork player down that left-hand side seemed to just have our guts for garters. And I just think Celtic treated it as if nothing was going to come from it. But Cork had an opportunity. Yeah, a real good opportunity from that. Celtic gone back at it again down the right-hand side. It slipped into Forrest once more. And the cross is dealt with yet again. And once again, Cork, like Queen's Park the other night, dealing well with these crosses. Like a bat out of hell. Can always trust Celtic fans to completely overreact to friendlies. It's just second nature at this point. It always happens, Paul. Always happens. Had a car horn as a highlight plays. Sinsalo will be main keeper after Casper, question mark? I think he could be. Oh, here we go. Big gaps for Celtic to exploit. Shot blocked. It's out for another corner. Nope, goal kick. Big gaps opening for Celtic. Just not enough ruthlessness. It was Hayato Inamura who bombed forward there. It was nice to see that. Let's just have a look at it again here. Pass was played across. Inamura opens himself up into a good position. His shot is terrible. Like, I mean, that's a proper defender's finish. But he found himself in a decent wee area there, Hayato Inamura. Ryan, how far behind are you on your completely legal stream? I'm at basically where it says I am on screen right now. I'm 17. Like that's where I am. I'm just about the 18th minute is hit. So I don't know how far behind that is. Apparently 2 if it kicked off at 6 in the button, but I doubt it did. I don't think I'm that far behind tonight compared to what we were for the Queen's Park game. I was behind by about 9 hours. Keep your questions piling in. We'll talk about loads. We have nearly 600 live viewers. Can I remind you, if you haven't already, please go down below, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's drive the traffic towards the channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you all. If you're here watching a Ryan 118 video or stream for the first time, then welcome. It's good to have you. Ryan, are you a fan of taking... Ricos, I didn't even clock that was you. That's a cracker. Ryan, are you a fan of taking it Justin De Haas? Well, more of a fan of giving, to be honest. Justin De Haas, sometimes you've just got to take the ass, It's just got to happen sometimes. Would prefer to, try to get him in, God, can't believe we're still keeping this up. All these months or all these years later. And we need to get somebody to get an AI generated player up that plays for fucking Groningen or Hoffenheim. Would you try, Dick? I'm pretty sure we could get it going in the forums, honestly. 1 minute 20 behind you, Aaron. Fantastic. A minute behind. Any mention of the attendance looks not far off capacity. I mean, I am assuming that it is near capacity. It looks like a great attendance. I don't know what it is officially yet. Oh, Celtic playing some risky football at the back. But I tell you what, Dane Murray, let's have a conversation here. Let's have a proper conversation about Dane Murray. Wait, hold on, because Celtic might have a goal. Shot blocked, another chance. Go for another bite of the cherry, a third chance, and this one's saved. Celtic getting a few opportunities there, but not enough conviction as 2 are blocked, 1 is collected. A great crowd in Cork this evening. James Forrest once again played a lovely pass in for, I think that's Luke McCowan. 2 shots blocked. Can't really tell. Stream's bloody as hell. But we had chances. Cork are through. 1-on-1. Oh, that's poor from the Cork striker. That's really, really poor. Or the winger, I think it was actually. I think it was the left winger who done quite well down that left-hand side earlier. He was through 1-on-1 there, and I think the pressure of the centre-halves chasing after him, he done what I do at 5-a-side, I mean, I get the ball caught under my feet when I hear somebody running behind me. I don't have the ice in my veins, but that's a big chance gone begging for Cork as they were through 1-on-1. Dane Murray, I think that Dane Murray quietly looks as though he's got something about him. I'm not saying that he's, somebody that's going to be starting for Celtic. I think he's quietly got something. He's got a long way to go. I know he's 22 or whatever now. He's got a long way to go till he's somebody we can seriously consider. But I don't know. There's just something about him. And I think that, for years we've had this situation with Stephen Welsh has been lingering at the club. And he's made a career out of basically being a homegrown option that has just sat there every summer. And I'd much rather it was Dane Murray than Stephen Welsh, to be quite honest. But I don't know, there's something about him, like watching him here moving forward with the ball, I don't know, there seems to be a bit of conviction in his run. Good with his left and right foot by the looks of things. I don't know. Listen, we still need to be signing centre-halves. A lot of different opinions about Dane Murray in the chat, I can see. Baldy Prick saying never good enough. None of these trash homegrown players are. No matter how people try to say they'll have potential, they'll always be awful. What a lovely optimistic look on things, Baldy. Smell the glove saying I like his physical stature. That's about it. Do you think Maida will play as a winger or striker this season? Hold on. Celtic carving out an opportunity here. I feel like every pass that gets sent out left to Summers just has a bit too much on it for him, or he's offside. One of the two. He's been very unlucky down that left-hand side so far. Keep your questions piling in. We are now nearly 25 minutes into the game. People impressed by Inamura so far. I keep seeing clips of like Celtic podcasts I've never heard of getting actively angry about Inamura, and what has happened in your life to be so angry about this young Japanese lad being signed? He's doing no harm. I just don't get it. Why would you be angry? I see people like actually like blood boiling at it, and I'm like, what is the worst case scenario with this in Inamura? I get it that Rodgers has came out, what a ball in from Inamura, oh, brilliant cross in from Inamura there, and nobody there to really attack it. It was a late Johnny Kenny who came running in, but he was just as I said, a second or two late. Inamura looking sharp, great ball from him. Anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. What is the worst case scenario with Inamura? Worst case, that he never plays for Celtic, he moves on, and 250 grand pocket change in terms of Celtic transfer money goes down the drain. Even if Rodgers sat him down next year and said, you're not going to make it at Celtic, we'd probably be able to sell him for 300,000 quid. We'd probably be able to make profit. 50 grand profit might be nothing, but it's still profit. The worst case scenario is so low risk that there is no need to be angry, actively angry. I get being critical. You can be critical. You can have an opinion. 100%. There's nobody. I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. But what I am saying is to be actually angry about it. And do you know what pisses me off? See, I've seen a couple of people saying this, like, that 250 grand could have been used for somebody's wages. That's not how it works. And even, let's see, whose wages are we talking here? Because if you want to go out and sign a top, like, let's say we went out and signed a top centre half who might be commanding like 15 to 20 grand a week. 250 grand isn't even going to cover a fucking year. Like, there's a separate budgets to work with. And the 250,000 is not going to have an impact on Celtic's wage budget or wage structure. Stop getting actively angry about it. For Pete's sake, wind your neck in. More concerned that you're madder than Inamura. I would agree with that. Because at least with Inamura coming in, I had no expectation for him to be in the Celtic team. I looked at him and knew straight away that he would be like similar to Kobayashi in the sense that probably won't get a sniff of first team football. You know? But I think people are like, oh, is this it? Is this the option? Of course it's not. It didn't take a genius to figure it out. Celtic having a wee bit of a mess here around the back, but it's been dealt with eventually by a combination of the right-sided defenders, it looked like. As we approach the 25-minute mark. Got a lot of points coming through. Let's see. I mean, think Celtic, the way I put it is, you make a point, 250 grand. What if he does come good and we make millions off the boy? You never know. It's so low risk. And he's been good today. I agree, Alistair. I see your comment. He has been good so far. Do I think that Kenny will be loaned out? I think he will be. I seen Rodgers was talking very highly of him in the Irish media over the past couple of days. Completely, yeah. Comparing it to Kobayashi is lazy, and like I'm not going to be the overly woke guy here, but like I think there's a reason that people are making the comparison, and I'm not going to use the big word, but I think we all know. Interest. I wanted to talk about this on stream tonight, Aaron. I wanted to talk about this, about the Vistgarden story. I seen Anthony. So let's talk about this very quickly. The game is bobbling away in the background. Let's talk about this for a second. So Anthony Joseph of Sky has reported that Norwich found some form of like secret release clause in his contract that no other team knew about. That's why Norwich have signed him for £6.9 million, apparently, right? Which is nuts when you consider the fact that we've been talking about him for 2 or so years, and he's apparently somebody that they wanted 10, 11, 12, 13 million pounds for. This 6 point, by the way, Celtic are going forward, and I'm seeing a lot of comments that might be indicating what's coming here, so I'll come back to it in a moment. James Forrest has the ball on the right-hand side for Celtic, slips a pass in, it's made on the outside of the box, it's a great finish, and Celtic do, in fact, take the lead after seeing all the comments. A lovely finish that sends Celtic 1-0 up. I'm just waiting to see if the camera zoom in so I can make out who it was. Was it Luke McCowan? No, it wasn't McCowan. Who was it? Who was that there? The ball just fell so nicely and it was caught beautifully. Was that Kenny? Was it Johnny Kenny? Let me just have a look. Oh, the camera work moves too fast, man. I can't even tell who it is. I am watching on 480p. I think it is. Is it Kenny? Is it? Who was it? Somebody tell me who it was. Goal Celtic anyway. We are up 1-0. I just changed the stream for you so everybody knows. We're up 1-0. Was it McCowan? I knew it was McCowan. It was my first guess. Celtic up 1-0. Goal from Luke McCowan. He caught it very nicely on the edge of the area. Fell to him really nicely. And he strikes at it so sweetly to make it Celtic 1, Cork City 0. And Celtic have the ball basically straight away. Going for second helpings here from kick-off. Here we go, by the way. Celtic moving it in nicely. Beautiful chance. And a good save from the Cork keeper. Could have been 2-0. Straight off of Celtic's goal. Johnny Kenny. Very unlucky. Some lovely football to make that chance. Coming from the left-hand side. Johnny Kenny's shot tipped over the bar by the Cork City keeper. And it will go out for a corner kick to Celtic. But Kenny unlucky. He's choking for a goal. You can see it about him. He's really, really hungry to find a goal this afternoon as we approach the half-hour mark. Celtic have a chance to hit it. Shat himself and it's out for a goal kick. Anyway, I want to get back to the Visgarden stuff that's popped up. So the story is there was a secret release clause. Norwich found it. They've triggered it. They've signed him. There is no way on earth that Celtic didn't know about that. And I'm not, and that's not me, and I mean that with all due respect to Anthony Joseph, who is a fantastic journalist in his own right, and but he might be right about it, he might be spot on the money, but I've seen that Celts here have shared an interesting article that they wrote back in like March time, that suggested that there was a form of release clause perhaps included in Matthias Visgarden's move. Now the other thing is, right, his agent, right, this is where it makes no sense to me, his agent is looking for a move for Visgarden and for himself, because agents get a hefty fee nowadays, right? A hefty fee. So the agent is not going to go out his back now unless Matthias Visgarden has made some sort of gentleman's agreement with Brøndby as a club and said, you have been so good to me, you have been so helpful to me, I won't speak about this release clause, we'll get the club as much money as we can. Unless he's made that hypothetical gentleman's agreement about that, there is no way that the agent hasn't brought that up. I think, and this isn't to cover up the fact Celtic haven't signed him, because at the end of the day, I don't really care, right? I'm over it. It looked good, right? Celtic would have known. And the fact that I think Celtic would have known and haven't got, and the fact that all of the shot for Cork goes wide, the fact that it's all led to nothing on Celtic's end, we didn't even hear about any bids this summer, let alone anything else, or even getting close to a bid. I don't think Celtic wanted them as much as we all thought. I think that there is a reason why. Great. Was that Inamura again? I think there's a reason that Visgarden is at Norwich City and not at Eintracht Frankfurt and not at Celtic. I think there's a reason. And that's why I'm not that bothered. He looked good. I would have happily took him. But I think we'd all kind of convinced, and this is what I come back to. It's all about psychology. Great from Sinisalo. Great sweeping. Kind of sells Inamura up there over a wee bit. But Inamura, really smart there. Inamura looks good, man. I think that we've all been psychologically impacted in some way, that when we hear these price tags thrown about that are in surplus of 10 million, we automatically assume it means they must be a brilliant player. And I'll raise this point, I brought it up the other day. If the Isaac Janssen story was led with 10 million rather than 3 million, Celtic fans across social media would be going, oh, the bollocks, this boy, let's get him in, let's sign him. But because we led with the 3 million story, people are going, the 3 million market, what's the point? We led with 10 million, and his stats were the same, and he played the same amount of football, that wouldn't be happening. Sue me. And I'm not changing my opinion on that, because I think it's back on the money, personally. We are approaching Sorry, we're not approaching. We have just passed the 30-minute mark in the middle of my rants. Corner kick for Celtic. Luke McCowan will send it in, and it is dealt with by Cork again, who send it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the look of Inamura in this friendly. It's only, once again, this is the last time I'm saying it in this stream. It's a friendly, either side of it. If somebody plays terribly or somebody plays really, really well, it doesn't matter because it's a fucking friendly. But look, listen, I'm so glad about it. I want to shut all those angry people up who are just wanting them to fail. Because that's the thing. There is a difference between people who are critical of Celtic signing them, and then there's ones who are actually actively wanting them to fail. You know? People actively want them to. And that pisses me off when people do that about Celtic players, especially new signings. Goal kick for Cork, a wee bit of a flop there. We dive in the box from Celtic. So Norwich have been aided then. Well, we'll soon see. We've spoke about Malacia a lot in this stream. Don't know if I can be bothered saying the same things again. I would take him as a backup, but I don't think there's anything in it. I don't think he's going to be a Celtic player. Tim saying Inamura has definitely started positive. He looks comfortable on the ball and he's got good passing and decision making. I agree. So far he's looked good. It's not phased him. He's taking the chance well, even with all the critics out there. And Blake already jumping the gun. An absolute bargain at 250 grand. Listen, let's be positive about things. Baldy Prick saying, oh, here we go, by the way. Celtic moving forward. Baldy Prick saying, well, in my opinion, Kuhn isn't even worth the money he left for. He does my head in, greedy Downs tools, didn't turn up in the derbies, can't stand him. Who's shatting your kettle tonight, Baldy Prick? What's wrong? Come on, therapy session, let's get going. But, I mean, listen, I love Kuhn. Thought he was a great player. But it's all so subjective, man. Like, price tags in football. When are people going to wrap their head around the fact that price tags literally mean nothing? Like, nothing. There's players that have moved to the Premier League for 80, 90, 100 millions of pounds and they're not worth it. It's what they are worth to a football club. It's a made-up figment of imagination number. You know, it doesn't mean anything. Of course, it's a little bit indicative of a player's quality. Of course it is. I'd be naive to suggest it's not. But ho-hum. Give Inamura. Look at the narrative changing already about Inamura. God almighty. I'm going to have to start moaning at people saying that he's Celtic's new left back. Aaron, Inamura and Kobayashi comparisons remind me of when Ange had to say in a presser that Maida, Rione, and Deguchi were different people. Yes! Thank you. It's true. Even our own manager had to come out and do it. Like, as I said, I'm not what to use that big word. I'm not what to use that big word that begins with the R. I'm not about that. I'm not going to just start throwing it about. And as I said, I don't want to sound like that overly woke guy, since that's the trend. Oh, you're woke, you know. But, like, seriously, like, it's so lazy. Just because he's Japanese. And the fact that Ange had to say it, it's not just me, you know, you had an actual manager come out and say these things. Inamura, first 40 million SPFL player. Do you know what? I might tweet that and see what sort of reaction I get. Ball sent in and it's out for another goal kick. Celtic controlling the game. Inamura has been looking decent. I can't wait to hear what my dad's doing the stair watch, and I can't wait to hear what he says about Inamura. Wait, hold on. I'm going to see what kind of reaction I get to this. Might be. I'm going to put up a tweet saying Inamura might be Celtic's first 50 million plus export, and I just want to see the kind of reaction I get. You know, I'm just going to add a wee tweet under. There we go. Just wanted to put that tweet up. Sorry for the moment of silence. I'm sure you like a break from my voice. Anyway. Cork City now getting a wee bit of the ball for it feels like the first time in ages as we get closer to half time. Ball sent over the top. Is Cork, are they on side here? Flag stays down. Cork getting into Celtic's box. Celtic defending it really, really well, though. Forced them into the cross and nowhere, and Celtic will deal with it. He's got to be offside. Flag's got to be up, surely, no? Cork have a shot, goes flying over the bar. Flying over the bar. Didn't see Nathan, hello, good to see you, mate. How you doing? Didn't see the first half hour, but everyone going on Twitter from Dud's saying unbelievable scouting in 30 minutes versus Cork is funny. Joy, welcome to the club, Nathan. We've been talking about it for the last half an hour. You know? I want all those angry podcasters who were fucking shitting on the poor boy to apologise if he does come good. I want public. I will hold people accountable. Trust me. See, in a year's time, I will hold folk accountable. I won't forget things. Listen, we all get things wrong in this life. I've been the guy that sat here and said that Barkas was going to be the best fucking keeper in Celtic's history. For God, well, I didn't say that. I'm putting words in my own mouth now. You know, we all have honkers, but I just don't see the point in coming on and acting angry about things, man. Like, my God, the thing that I always say is, like, there's so much else to be angry about in the world, and we're getting angry about Celtic spending 250 grand on players. Sitting Salah looking solid. He's looked good. He's looked very sweeper-like, hasn't he? He's looked very sweeper-like. Mark saying, I like this, Mark. Let's see Inamura. I'd like to see Inamura play centre-back second half. Match fit, no reason he can't. Yeah, why not? Test him. There seems that there's an injury stoppage here. O'Sullivan is down for Cork. So there's a bit of a stoppage in play. I agree, Mark. I would like to see him tested at both positions, see what he's like. But he's really, really comfortable looking on that left-hand side just now. It'll be interesting to see what Brendan Rodgers says about him after the game. But, you know, aye. I want to see Osmond. Is he on the bench? No, he's not. He who has to arrive. Sadly not. Not ready yet. Oh, is he on? Sorry, is he on the bench? Am I talking shite? I actually can't remember. Sorry, I'm going to go and check right now. I don't remember reading his name out earlier. It's hard to memorise these big benches full of fucking B team players. Sorry, give me a second. I'll confirm it for you. Oh, he is. My bad. Sorry. He is on the bench. Sorry, my bad. I take it back. Inamura hate watch gone wrong, turn sexual. What about Inamura hate watch in the hood? What about that? Let's see, what else have we got going? Do you think the Newcastle game should be in the season ticket? Yes, David. It's a fucking sham that it's not. I suppose because they've given Newcastle such a big section, like, you know, they can't really do that, but they should at least fucking make it like, I don't know, £5 for season ticket holders or something. I don't know. It's just, listen, don't get me started on it again. Square sausage, Mick, no one's angry and it's called having an opinion. No. You're right, 100%, but you're right and you're wrong, because there are people angry. I have seen people angry. There's having an opinion, and then there is just like spiteful hate watch on the fella for the next part of his life. Like, I have seen clips of people shouting down microphones about the boy. I'm like, the poor lad's just been signed by a big football club. He's not asked for all of this, you know? But having opinions fine. It is fine. Of course it is. Osmond is. I know, he's on the bench. My bad. Smell the glove. Ryan, you've been a wrestling fan. Have you ever heard from JD from New York? He is an angry guy. He's a worst cunt. Like a double worst cunt. Worst. Cannot stand him. I've heard of him. Knew about him for years. Do you think we should spend 10 million on a player, says Connor? The answer is vanilla and as generic as you like. We spend 10 million on a player, it has to be the right player. We don't just do it for the sake of it. It's a chance for Celtic. It's fell down for us. Tell you what, Cork have got bodies in front of shots all night. Shot again on goal. And it's clenched once more from the Cork's keeper. I'd love to see the amount of shots we've had blocked by Cork defenders. Anyway. Everybody is allowed an opinion, Square Sausage Mick. I will reiterate that 1,000,000 times over. Having an opinion is completely fine. You pay £900 for a season ticket and you can't get a meaningless game for free. I remember back in the day you used to get a couple. When I first got my season book, which was 10 years ago now, you used to get one of the qualifiers and you used to get a friendly. Now we get nothing. And you used to get No, I'm talking nonsense. Does anybody remember, and I think I brought this up in a stream quite recently, right? So maybe it's fresh on the mind of folk that are regularly here. But I remember back in the day, see if you pre-ordered the new home shirt, you used to get something with it. I remember back in the day, you pre-ordered the home shirt, I got a rucksack. A pretty good quality rucksack. I used it for years. I used to take it on holiday with me. It done my fucking carry-on on the plane, you know? And then I remember you got a beach towel one year. This was recently. This was like 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, you used to get something for pre-ordering the shirt. James Forrest done really well there after slipping in his arse. He's still going. Look at him charge. Charge of the James Forrest Brigade. Ball sent back out right. Turns into a shot. It should have been a cross, but I think it was a bit of a miss-hit there from Anderson on the right-hand side. Goes straight into the keeper's hands as we get closer to the first half. Mark, you're a big fan of Inamura so far. I love it. What's the next game then? Is the next one Sporting? Or do we have the other team behind closed doors? The other team behind closed doors, isn't it? Can't remember their name. Don't even ask me. No, Newcastle. Is it Newcastle? I don't even... Do you know what? I shouldn't even be doing a Celtic podcast. I couldn't tell you fucking... My arse from my elbow. So much to talk about. Celtic trying to push for a second goal before half time. I'm looking forward to the second half to see if we can get the likes of Callum Osmond on on to see what he's all about. It's getting a little bit more condensed. Cork haven't been as open as they were for the opening kind of half hour of the game. I think they're trying to get themselves into a position at half time where they can still fight for the Cork Super Cup in the second half. It's got a lot more condensed in there, very familiar to what we're used to dealing with on a weekly basis in domestic football. What we've seen against Queen's Park, of course, on Friday night as well, with a minute to play here left in the first half, sorry. We'll do a quick wee catch-up summary at the end of the first half before I go and fill up all my refreshments. Open game and saying I got a boot bag one year from getting a shirt. Still got it in the plastic. Get the boot bag open. Aaron saying I've been on a season ticket waiting list for 6 years now. If anyone fancies giving theirs up or croaking it so I can have it, that would be greatly appreciated. God, that's a mess of a list, isn't it? Estrella Amadora, that's it. Household name. Sounds like a fucking beer. Ina actually reminds me of Naka in the way that he moves and passes. Well, not many better to be reminded of, I will say that to tell you the truth. Portugal trip, Newcastle home, then the Como Cup. Thank you. Thank you to Aiden for the donation. Thank you, brother. Inamura looking good, but I'm not convinced with Engels. Engels is in a quiet first half. I feel like I've not even said his name, actually. I feel like Engels has done nothing. Friendly, of course, but Inamura is looking good. Thank you for the donation, Aiden. God bless. Appreciate it, brother. And there we go. It's half time here in Cork. I better remove my timer from the screen. Half time. Celtic do lead in the first half. A goal from Luke McCowan is what splits the difference here at half time. It was a great strike. I mean, he burst the net effectively. Ball fell very, very nicely to him. Aside from that, Celtic in total control of the game, as you would expect. Controlling the pace, dictating what Cork can do and get out of the game. But Cork have got forward a couple of times, not really presented anything of real threat. Celtic have had plenty of chances, plenty of shots, most of them blocked by the Cork defenders. But I think the big talking point from the first half and what everybody's going to be piling in to say at half time is how impressive Hayato Inamura looked in the first half. I'm chuffed, personally, for somebody who has so many haters already. It's good to see him with a strong first half performance. He looked really assured on that left hand side. I think one of the highlights of his first half was the fact that he was sending in so many decent crosses. His passing looked really, really good, really accurate. And of course, Inamura, I think we're forgetting one thing in particular about Inamura in this friendly. On that park, he's arguably the most sharp player on the park at the minute because he left mid-season. He's been playing for in Japan. He's been playing week in, week out for the last however many months. So he's match fit, he's match sharp, whereas every other Celtic player, they aren't. So, they're all positive things to be saying about Inamura at this half-time break. And I would agree with a point that was brought up earlier from Mark. I'll bring it back up again. I would like to see him tried in that left centre half role in the second half, just to see what he's like with maybe a striker running at him, or central players running at him, how he is at getting the ball out from the back. But listen, he's playing well at the minute. Maybe it's good to aid his confidence and keep him doing what he's been doing good, and going from there. But anyway, half time. It's 1-0. Josh in Taiwan. Love that. Good to see Celtic back. It's been decent so far. Inamura has a good eye for a pass. Shooting, not so great. I would say that is the one negative to take away from Inamura's first half, was that shot that was absolutely terrible. But he is a defender, so we'll let him away with it. It's not his job to be shooting. Once every 10, if he can get it on target, would be good. He has to arrive. Okay, I'm back. Hello, Ryan. Do you think Osmond is going to be third option? Personally, I reckon he's here to be the second striker. Could be wrong, but I don't think Kenny will be a Celtic player next season. I agree with all you're saying. I think that he's in line to be the third choice striker for now, but if he takes a chance, takes an opportunity, listen, he could be, who knows where in the pecking order very, very quickly. And I think Kenny will probably end up loaned out. Kenny's hungry for a goal in this game. Philip, thank you for the donation. Watching from Worcester. Worcester? What state is... I've never heard of Worcester. I think my American geography is pretty good as well, but I've never heard of Worcester. I got... Oh, is it Worcester? Massachusetts? Is that where we are? Up in Worcester. Worcester. Is that how you pronounce it over there? Brilliant. Love that, Philip. Welcome to the stream. I'm planning on going to Massachusetts, actually, in the next couple of years. So I will keep it in mind if I pass through. Thank you, Philip, for the donation, brother. It's good to have you. God bless. Ryan, is Michel Ange Balak? We should definitely come in. Yeah, I think so. But the looks of it, looks like it. Let's get a couple more comments for a run away for a bottle of water before the second half. Aaron saying, I want to trust the board to get the transfer window right, but I have mountains of PTSD. Yep. Don't blame you. I'm hoping it starts cooking. A long time to go. I am trying to keep that that positivity and optimism around me. I feel like I do it more than most. Maybe it's blind optimism. I don't know. The goal, cracking finish, brilliant strike from Luke McCowan. Good strike on him, as Matthew says. And on that note, I'm going to run away for a couple of minutes to get myself some water. I would play the audio from Celtic TV for you, so it's not just sitting in silence, but I'm sure you probably have it on anyway via Premier or Celtic TV. You've got your own noise in the background. Plus, I don't want to get struck for copyright and stealing Celtic FC's content. So, I'll be back in literally 5 or so minutes time. Chat amongst yourself. Thank you to the 700 plus viewers that we currently have. We'll be back for the second half. We're going to be here for the next 45 minutes, don't you worry, and we'll get talking about all these other things. So, I'll be back very, very soon. Right. Are we ready to go for the second half? Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to see me in a moment. You'll be able to see me in just a moment. I'm back. I'm ready to go. Having fun thus far. As we did the other night. I see, honestly, see if it was more acceptable. I do watch-alongs all season, but it's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. Did I miss a donation while I was away? No, I didn't. Just popping up very late on the screen for some reason. It's good to be back. How we all doing? Second half is underway, of course. 1-0 Celtic as things stand. Get your questions in. We'll have a wee bit of a chat through half time. Is my alerts just broke? Because that... There we go. It's away now. Aye. Philip, got to check out the three-time defending rugby champions New England Free Jacks when you're here, Ryan, based in Quincy. I'm going to write that in my notes. Even though I don't like rugby, but I just love seeing things and experiencing different bits of culture when I'm away, especially when I'm over in the States, because I think it's very easy to get trapped into doing the same things when you go to the States when you have such little time. So the New England Free Jacks, I've wrote it down in my notes, and it's based in Quincy. Thank you. So, for a wee bit of context, me and one of my mates, we're planning on doing, we want to go over and do a wee kind of East Coast adventure in a couple of years' time, or maybe next year. I don't know, it depends when we have the money together for it. Because I want to go back over to Philly to get myself to an Eagles game. And then we just want to make it a wee bit of fun, you know, finish it off in NYC, because I've never been. So thank you, Philip. I have jotted it down, and I will keep it in mind and see wherever I end up passing through. Second half is about to commence. We are just waiting on both teams to make their way to the field. I think Celtic are on their way out just now, so we are going to be back for the second half. Why not do watch-alongs for away games? Because Lupin, listen, I'll be perfectly transparent with you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I don't like the thought of sitting here during league games when I get very passionate and animated watching Celtic play competitive football and becoming the gold bridge of Celtic. I think that I'm pretty self-aware, and I could probably make a lot of bloody money doing it. And who knows, maybe in my older years I'll do it. But just now, I'm fine not doing it, to be quite honest. I just think it would end disastrously. And I don't really want that to happen. So, what did your old man say about the fans? He said that he was very impressed with the ground, actually, and the size of the pitch. He thought this was actually Cork's ground. I was like, no, I think it's the GA team, you know. But aye, he was kind of chilling in and out of the first half. I think he was doing his washing. So he missed the goal. He didn't see the goal. We're waiting. So I think is it a whole new team on again for the second half? I don't think Celtic have posted a graphic to suggest the team. So I'm waiting to see what pops up on my screen. So Baldy prick, I do have it wrote down. There's not been a day in summer yet that's opened up for me to do it. That's the problem. But I still do have it noted down. It is on a bit of paper somewhere. I've got so many bits of paper lying about from Madden. So when I play like sport games, in particular NBA and Madden, right, when I'm doing rebuilds and career modes, I need to write down my plans on a bit of paper. Like, I'm going to get rid of him, right? We need a new running back. We need a new tight end. Or in the NBA, I start building out a roster page. I'm like, right, I need 2 centers. You know. So I've got so many bits of paper lying about. I've got one with video ideas and stuff on it, and it is on there. You know. We are just waiting about here for this second half to start. We're looking forward to hopefully seeing Callum Osmond in the second half. I think he's the one that most people are looking forward to seeing and anticipating in this second half. Henrik McLarsson. Thing is, doesn't really matter what we think about Inamura. Rodgers has already said he's one for the future, so we probably won't see him like that yet. Exactly. You know, unless he gets to play another few friendlies and Rodgers really has his head turned, I think the plan is still going to be future and not now. And like, it doesn't really matter how well he plays. I think that's probably the plan, unless, as I said, he really has his head turned. So we'll wait and see. Celtic are making their way onto the pitch now on my stream. As I'm about a minute behind or so, ladies and gents. But I guess you're not really here to hear my commentary. I'm sure we're all watching. I think we're here just more for the conversation during the game more than anything else. Do you think any of the Scottish teams will give us competition this season? Yeah, I think Hibs look as though they're building some team, and I think Aberdeen will be tough again, man. Aberdeen just need to find their consistency. But they figured out the plan and how to beat Celtic and when it matters. Right, second half's about to kick off. I'll explain in a moment, but you're going to see that the timer's going to be going from 0 to 45 again, right? And I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll tell you why in a minute, right? So just bear with me as we wait for the ball to be kicked and I can start my timer. 1-0 Celtic going into the second half. Celtic have made a number of changes, as we know, so I will try and keep up with all those changes as the game goes and let you know who's in the field. If Celtic post a graphic, then I'll let you know and I'll maybe bring it up on screen as well. But as it stands, we are just working off visuals. Callum Osmond is on the park though, and here we go. The second half is underway, and as I was going to say, the timer is running from 0 to 45 again. Reason being, to run it from 45 through 90, if I want to keep it in the format that you need to pay, and I'm not paying because I don't do the watch-alongs beyond summer, and I'm not paying. I'm just not doing it. I'm sure we can all figure out that we're going through the second 45, right? God Almighty, we don't need to hire maths to figure that one out. As the second half gets underway, and we were trying to play a ball in behind for Callum Osmond, but it does go straight to the Cork goalkeeper. We have a lot of comments flying through. Liam McGuire predicting a double for Callum Osmond. I love that. We'll see. We can hope so. I seen a Go Birds flying in the chat and I've missed it. I feel bad now, but right back at you. Oh, there we go. Havala Keo. There we go. Go Birds and one hoops. Fantastic. Cork offside there. Right, let's try and catch up with some of the chat. I see the rain zone here now, by the way. In the east end of Glasgow. It was when I was downstairs after a pretty nice day as well. Currently waiting on Kendrick Lamar starting at Hampden, whoever he is. Lol. Oh yeah, he's on, because tonight's the big night, isn't it? Kneecap's on, Billie Eilish is on, and Kendrick's on. A triangle of doom. One of my mates she's working at merch for Kneecap tonight. She's been in watching them do their sound tests and all that. Got some photos with the guys. They seem brand new. They're not my music, not my cup of tea. I think their music's rotten. But I stand with the guys and they seem brand new. Do you think we'll send Inamura to the likes of Dundee? Is Inamura? Oh, actually, that's one of the things we should have been spectating for earlier when the game came. Is Inamura away off now? Then I take it. I think he's away. You watch my analysis of the game, Helen. I love that. I'll try and make it as good as we can. Ball sent down the left-hand side now. Not as good as an Inamura ball. Not as good as it goes out for a throw-in in these first couple of minutes. Celtic trying to go forward, but just overhitting some of the passes. For context, you live in the immediate vicinity. Right, okay. I couldn't be bothered with it either. I'm a Drake man, which seems to be obviously controversial nowadays. So we'll wait and see. The goal scorer of the first half, Celtic, was Luke McCowan. He got the goal for Celtic, and a pretty good goal at that. Strong finish. Burst the net. Why am I being cheap? Because I'm a tight arse bastard. So simple as that. When you get to Philly, let us know. Listen, next time I'm there, I'll be doing videos from there. You'll know I'm there. I want to make myself. I want to get down to the Plough Boys CSC. I want to get down to watch a game there. Never got a chance to do that when I was in Philly last year. So I really want to get down there and watch the game with everybody in there. I've heard it's great. I know Hamish that does Celtic AM. He was there a couple of years ago and he told me to go down, but I didn't get going, even though it was a derby on when I was there. It was 6 in the morning. I was knackered after the first night of WrestleMania, so I didn't get to make it for the derby. It would have been great as well. Ball's kind of just gone back and forth right now to start off the second half. Same kind of vibes to Friday, where now we're getting a lot of the young boys in the park that really need to. So one of my biggest problems from Friday was, and it's a friendly, so it wasn't to be taken seriously. I wasn't trying to stretch out as a serious problem. But I really want some of these young lads to step up and really show the manager and show us as fans that they can be something special. But there was an air of nervousness around them on Friday, I thought, in that second half. Nobody was really. Great ball pinged out wide there, by the way. Fantastic ball. Celtic have the ball on the left hand side, send it in, and just nobody there to attack it, and it's cleared by Cork. And it was a great bit of football from Celtic. A great ball initially out wide, and then it's a great ball rolled along into space. Easy finish. Tap it in basically, and nobody's there. Nobody's there for it. But I thought on Friday that some of the youngsters were really nervous to be the guy to maybe take the shot or do something slightly risky. They were very, very safe, very conservative, and I don't want to see that here. Celtic go to try and do something, and it goes out for another goal kick. Celtic have posted the team changes, right? Well, I'll try and get the graphic up on screen for us then, so we can actually look at it, and I can understand who is on in 480p. If I can find Celtic's Twitter very quickly. Aha, second half team, here we go. I will bring it up on screen for you, ladies and gents. Just give me a wee second. I am now missing the game. I'm looking for this. There's the team for the second half. That consists of Ross Doohan, Mitchell Frame, Stephen Welsh, Robertson, McPherson, McCardle, Ure, Turley, Hatton, Montgomery and Osmond. So yeah, simple as that. Very, very young side out for the second half. The only kind of regulars that we've seen, Doohan of course is a first team player back at the club. Celtic, by the way, chance for Celtic. I think that might have been Callum Osmond, but it's offside. That's why there was a big lack of conviction. Or was it offside? Was it offside? Thought it broke through very, very well. Finish was pretty poor. I don't think he was offside. As I said, yeah, I mean Osmond, who obviously come in to be part of the first team, Montgomery, who's been part of the teams in recent years, and of course we're familiar with names like McCardle and Turley, who we've seen a couple of times, but mostly young fellas out on the park for this second half. So now you can see my desktop, I believe, which is just fantastic. You will see nothing exciting on my desktop apart from files from today's video and applications. So I've moved. What am I moving? That was the QR code. God, we're having a disaster here. This is what happens when you start messing about with monitors. Peter Grant was talking about Ida coming on, apparently. Does he know? He must not know. He must not know. So I'll be back to... Am I going to go to the charity match against United? I think I'm going to see what the script... I kind of want to go with the old man. So I might try and get... When is the deadline for that? Is it like tomorrow or something? It's this week. When is the deadline? Because I was thinking about asking Kieran Auld, could I use his season ticket for my dad? And go with my dad, because I think that'd be good fun. But we'll see. I thought it was in Gary Lineker being replaced by Wayne Rooney. Well, he's not being replaced by Wayne. I seen this on Twitter. He's not being replaced by Wayne Rooney. Like, I thought Gary Lineker's being replaced by Mark Chapman and Kenny Dalglish's daughter and the other one whose name I have suddenly forgot. Kelly Cates and chance here for Celtic. Oh, great, but he's slipping his arse. That was a chance. That was a big chance. A fantastic through ball that somehow made it all the way out left. But he's slipping his arse when it came to the finish. He's not replacing Lineker. He's just becoming one of the new pundits on Match of the Day, which is not replacing Lineker. And Wayne Rooney's my favourite player of all time, so I'm more than happy for him to do it. I get that he's not exactly the most riveting listen, Wayne Rooney, but he's not replacing Lineker. Lineker's job was as host, not as a pundit. That's a very confused people talk about. I've replaced Lineker. I'm like, no, I've not. I've not replaced him with Rooney. Seems to be a lot coming through our left-hand side. The first half, it was all about the right-hand side. Second half, all seems to be coming down the left. However, here's Callum Osmond trying to drive us forward. The ball kind of ricochets its way through, but once again, nobody on the receiving end of it. And it still stays 0-0 with no huge chance as of yet for Celtic in this second half. Well, you're doing Eagles Watchalong. An EDP 445. Probably not. Get about 5 years. Does his goal still exist? I'm not sure. I cannot comment on that. I cannot tell you to go and watch illegal streams. Personally, I think that would be bad for me. I am watching through very legal, very fair means, you know. I thought Ida was the face of this, and he's not even the team sheet. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of he's got a knock or anything, or if it's just because he's not ready yet. I mean, Rodgers did say that those on international duty are not going to be involved in today's game. It's a good ball there, just couldn't Yeah, that's that highlight of the through ball that somehow made its way all the way to the left hand side. As something comical coming up here. I'm keeping my eyes attention. Cork send a ball in. Doohan cut. Ross, son. Oh my goodness, right? It's not. I thought we were getting a Cork goal there, but Ross Doohan has murdered somebody. He's murdered one of our own. Has he murdered Stephen Welsh? He has. Ross Doohan has murdered Stephen Welsh. Now I know for years we've been wondering how maybe to get rid of Stephen Welsh, but it wasn't meant to be like that. Ross. Wasn't maybe like that. Ross Doohan comes out. I mean, it's a bit of a mess, to be fair. Welsh is rooted to his position. Doohan comes on top of him, and the Cork player is of course trying to win the header. So it's a bit of an unfortunate one for Stephen Welsh. But you've got to have stronger hands than that, you know, if you're going up and challenging for it. They're now just checking. They're going through concussion protocol with Stephen Welsh here to make sure he's okay, and hopefully he is. Hope that Stephen Welsh is okay. It's not a goal. Just a moment here for Stephen Welsh to make sure that he's okay. He's picked up a knock. Could be a concussion if there has been any strong contact. They are just going through concussion protocol right now, and hopefully he's okay. But Ross Doohan taking out one of his own. Was not expecting that for the second half in a friendly. Just one of those honest mix-ups. I don't even think that Doohan has to have stronger hands. But like, he's came out to try and win the cross. He's not caught it. Welsh has been rooted in a position where the goalkeeper has got to come into. Welsh doesn't challenge for the ball. The Cork player does. Welsh just becomes part of a sandwich. That's the only way I can think about wording it, you know. Stephen Welsh became the filling of a Ross Doohan Cork striker sandwich. Hello Doug, how you doing? Good to see you. Rooney, one of the best players over the last 25 years in my opinion. I mean, I think he's one of the best players of all time. He's my favourite of all time, quite literally. I love him. I love Wayne Rooney. I will say nothing but good things about him. Confirmed, the away kit for Livingston released on Friday. Yes! Yours might beat Celtic to it, Doug, and then I need to be fair and give Celtic the shit for holding up the videos, and not Livingston for a change, you know? As Welsh went off, they've took him to the side of the park, I know that, but I don't know if they've actually like subbed him off yet, you know? Obviously, he did go through concussion protocol. I just don't know if he's back on the park. Celtic might be playing with 10 men right now. No, he's back on. He's playing. Welsh is on the park. He's back on. He's fine. He's obviously not concussed, or he wouldn't be on the pitch. So, Stephen Welsh back on the park for Celtic. I can confirm of that. He still has the armband on as well, and we'll obviously keep an eye on, see what happens on with him in this second half. But he is on, and Celtic are not down to 10 men. You know, so we're okay. Keep getting your points in. We are approaching the half-hour mark of the game, of course. And my timer says 12 minutes, but it's 12 minutes of the second half. Use your heads. But second half is ongoing. Celtic yet to create a big opportunity, but here we are now as we drive the ball to the middle of the park. It would be nice to create one big chance to really get things going. Let's play the way that we played against Manchester City and Chelsea in the friendlies in America last year. Remember that? Remember social media those nights? God, there was such a positive vibe going about. Bring that back. And trying to play a wee ball through there. It was cute, but it was stopped by Cork fairly easily. Who scored, Chris? It was Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan scored the goal for Celtic. Would you take Rooney over Larsson? Well, listen. Of course not. But at the same time, I never grew up watching Henrik Larsson. I grew up watching Wayne Rooney. So in my personal 11, I would have Wayne Rooney over Larsson, yes. But I wouldn't change Henrik Larsson at Celtic. I mean, they played at two different times, man. Like, Rooney started when Larsson stopped, really. Like, so, you know, it's a bit of a hard one to answer, to be quite honest. Brandon Soppy's left Atalanta. I remember we were linked with him. I thought he done quite well at a point. after he got a move, didn't he? How come Welsh was never nicknamed Heinz? 57. Get it. Terrible, Henrik. Terrible. Means Heinz. Who's playing for Celtic tonight? A lot of the B team out, Stephen, in this second half. I would run over it again, but there's really no point. A lot of the B team, though. A lot of the youngsters. The only first team players playing in the second half are Ross Doohan in goals, Stephen Welsh in defence, Callum Osmond, he's playing up front. And of course, there's a couple of sprinkled in names that we're familiar with, the likes of Adam Montgomery, but mostly B team players. What wrestling shows will I be watching this weekend, Mr. Ryan? Good question, Anthony. With a weekend like this, you need to watch every single one, or you're not a wrestling fan. No, I'm joking. I'll probably watch All In, and I don't know what I'm going to watch live. I might not even watch any live. So I'll watch them all eventually. I don't know if I'm going to watch any live, though, to be quite honest with you. Are we getting a wee break here in play? As a substitution for Cork. Treating their game, of course, a bit more normally than Celtic. They don't have the luxury of being able to do like full squad rotation and such. It's a little bit different for Cork. Celtic with the fresher team on the park right now. LO5G saying Malacia would be the first choice ahead of Tierney. No. Why no? What's even the point? What is the news on Malacia? I think this news is being blown up more than it's actually news. A couple of pages on Twitter saying that he's been offered to Celtic for $3 million. I don't think that's the case. Well, I think it's the case, but I don't think it's specifically Celtic. I don't think they've phoned. I don't think, you know, what's his face? Forgot it. Jim Ratcliffe. I don't think Ratcliffe's phoned up fucking Peter Lawwell or whatever and went, oh, we've got Malacia here for you, $3 million. I think the story's been blown up. I don't think there's much in it. I don't think he's going to be a Celtic player, but we'll see. I mean, more might come of it. I just mean right now from what there's been. I'm not saying there's no chance. I doubt it, you know. Aaron, that is a good idea, Aaron. I like that. Could be a fun preseason, but I feel like we've kind of missed that feels like a kind of end of May, June video, you know. And I think that next year that's something I could explore. I like that, to look at like links that never happened, like Sidney Van Hooijdonk, who I think stunk the gaff out at Norwich last year, didn't he? There's been some amount of players who have stunk the gaff at places. And Riley McGree, guys like him, he done okay for a bit, didn't he, at Middlesbrough, I think. But an old WCW guy, Philip. Oh, chance for Cork now. Shot on goal. Oh, Cork came close. Big opportunity for them. In fact, it seems to have took a deflection on the way out because it's a corner to Cork. And that really could have been, or maybe should have been, the equaliser. Cut through Celtic like butter there. The central defence and the centre midfields were non-existent. And apparently it's taken a touch off Ross Doohan. If it has, it's a good save. I'm not convinced it has, though. I'm watching this highlight here. It might have took it. Doohan does make a save there. That is fair play to him. Fair play to Doohan. Cross comes in. Oh my God, what's Doohan doing? Doohan was rooted to his spot there. Kind of flew by in a jiffy, and it's a way back towards the halfway line, but still in possession with Cork. An old WCW guy, though. That's obviously I'm a bit too young to remember WCW. It folded when I was about 2 years old, but some of the stuff back in the day, Philip, was pretty good at the old WCW. Some pretty shit as well, but some pretty good. Am I going to AEW in the Hydro? Yes, I am. I am going. I've got my tickets. I'm going. Let's see. Nah, Mark, it really should have been the equaliser. Really should have been. AJ Murray Delaney said, "Come on, Celtic. Even though I'm a St Pat's fan, we beat Cork 3-2 at home." Listen, fair enough. But Celtic are currently playing their B team of youth players. It's a bit different, you know. It's a little bit different, you know. Is Bernardo on? No, Bernardo's not involved. Bernardo isn't in the squad at all today. Steven saying Rooney was class, but Larson was a masterclass. No comparison. Sorry, right? Well, I mean, listen, I agree. Just, you know, Rooney is one of the best to ever do it, man. So is Larson. Both great players. I think they're both in that world class elite team. Oh, that's terrible control. That's terrible. Celtic really should have had a chance there. Terrible control. As I said, there is. I feel like a broken record, but it just feels like there's some of these youth players who really need just a bit of encouragement behind them or something. Just a bit of motivation, a bit of, don't know, something to give them that kick to just calm it down and play the way they can play, because there's no doubt they're talented youngsters. But I think that when you see it, there's moments here, like the chance that Celtic just had, the ball rolls under his foot, it's an axe. These things happen. I'm not going to be overly critical of a one-way mistake, but I think that you can see in moments like that why maybe more of them aren't coming through in the first team and getting chances in domestic games. You know? Got a lot of wrestling chat, I love it. Hollywood Hogan and Sting. I love Sting. Bloody love him. Hello, Adam. Nice to see you. 10 months you've been. We're nearly a year since the establishment of the 118 Thunder Club. That's nuts. 10 months. Adam's been there for the get-go. Evening, Ryan. What's the worst fan interaction you've had? I've said this a million times, and it might be hard to believe. I have never, ever, 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 ever had a bad fan interaction. Everybody I have ever met has been so nice and so, like, I've never had any bother with a fan. Never. Yes, I was with my mum today in the Celtic shop and I bumped into a few, and I always get a wee bit like, I'm like, oh god, my ma's gonna be freaked out by this, but she just stands there fucking, she doesn't have a clue. And everybody was lovely, you know. I've never had a proper bad fan interaction, to be honest. I mean, like, maybe, like, I remember being abroad and I got, like, one, oh, yeah, specky dick. I mean, it doesn't faze me, you know. I wouldn't call it a bad fan interaction. Long ball played up here to Cork, who control it now nicely on the right-hand side. Played in. Bit of space opening up for Cork. A ball played in behind the defending. And there's the equaliser. Cork have scored. It's 1-0. They're going nuts. This is the Super Cup for them. This is a big deal. It's 1-0, and that Stephen, listen. I've never been Stephen Welsh's bigger fan. I don't think that's any secret, right? And I don't know if he's feeling the effects of the knock that he took earlier. You know, I don't know if he's feeling the effects. But that is piss poor from Stephen. That's Stephen Welsh all over. It's always been his problem. He has no conviction in anything he does. He has no real confidence or defensive awareness. It's why he's never been cut out for it at the top level. That is piss poor. From being in total control of that situation to then losing a goal to that is insane. And it's poor defending all round. The pass shouldn't be played in as easily as it is in the first place. But Stephen Welsh, that is bad. And I know it's a friendly. Like, as I said, I never try to get carried away on either side. I never get carried away with the good or the bad. But that is really, really bad, to tell you the truth. And it's now Cork 1, Celtic 1. I mean, listen, I don't expect Stephen Welsh to be a Celtic player for much longer, but he's not doing himself any justice or any favours in trying to advertise himself with a good move. If that's how he's going to defend, because you need to, friendly or not, you can't be getting away with that. You can't be getting away with that. So, you know, that's that. Celtic now having to find themselves chasing another goal. Nice wee turn there from Callum Osmond. What might not have been Callum Osmond, I can't tell my 480p. The ball is now on the right hand side. Celtic trying to make something out of a really tight position, and Cork have got a bit of hunger about them. They've won it back well. Celtic, we need to sweep up in the middle of the park. We don't have a single first team player on. Yeah, not you know, we've got a couple of first team players and the likes of Osmond or Welsh or whatever. But I mean, Osmond isn't going to be getting first team service, is he? So it's going to be really hard to judge Osmond in these last kind of 20 or so minutes. As Celtic move into the opposition area, ball played, but straight into the hands of the keeper. Got a lot of questions piling through. Let's try and get a wee bit of conversation going. Let's get through everything. Talk about anything. My chat, refresh chat. I might need to refresh it. How many people are watching right now? Because it said 717 for me since like half time, And for some reason, I feel like it's probably moved either side of that, whether it's less or more. And I wanted to shout out, we've got over 800 watching live now. Bloody hell. Shout out to the over 800 viewers that we have in the chat right now. Let's get back over. We've got a corner kick for Celtic, by the way. Will this game get played to a finish then? Since it's for a cup, straight to pens. It would be straight to pens as far as I'm aware, Darren. If they made them play extra time, it'd be a bit of a joke. But it'll be straight to pens if it finishes a draw. Oh, that was a big chance for Celtic there, actually. I missed that because I was checking how many people were in the chat. That was a huge chance for Celtic. It took a bit of a deflection. Corner kick. Sent in. The header just dips over the bar. Two big chances in the space of about a minute with 20 left to play. Stephen Welsh, I think it was there, who had the opportunity. Murray over Welsh easily, 100%. 100%. Right, let me have a look through let me catch up with some of the chat. Your timekeeping makes me think it's the first half. I know, apologies. Gavla, nice to see you. Yo, Ryan recently had 2k subs. Congratulations, mate. Love that. Any advice you could give for someone around that point? Just keep as consistent as you can. And that doesn't mean upload every day, Gavla. But, like, find out what's working, prioritise it. What's getting you views, prioritise it. Lean into it. And be consistent. If something's doing well, don't let it slip. That's the best advice I can give you. And that should be, and then obviously patience. Patience is one of the things that I keep saying. I sound like a broken record. Best lads holiday destination. When I was a youth and I had just left school, I done the rounds. I done Zante, I done Ayia Napa, I done Magaluf. I love Santa Ponza. If you're a bit more chilled and you're not bothered about nightclubs and that, get yourself to Santa Ponza. And you can always go through to Magaluf, because my answer would be Magaluf out of them all. But my Magaluf days are firmly behind me. We went through for a night to do the Gringos Bingo in Santa Ponza, and my God, I was ready for my bed when it was done. I've not got it in me anymore. How does Stephen Welsh earn thousands per week? You can stick any random person, it'll be no different. Yeah. Hope he doesn't watch this back. We've been getting it fucking stinking. Not just me, the chat. I'm not the only one guilty. Somebody is that Welsh down? He's faked it. He's wanting off. He's made a tit of himself. No, I'm joking. I hope he is okay, because it was quite a nasty one he took earlier. And I don't know if that played any part in the goal that we conceded, but it looks as though Stephen Welsh will be coming off the park. Boys in Green, thank you for being a member for 9 months, mate. I appreciate that. Hi, Ryan, do you worry we may stockpile players, especially with the strikers? I'll answer that question in September. It's hard to tell right now. Saint Mortal, 10 months as well, brother. Good for you. Congrats. Here we go, 10 in a row. He's getting out early. He's confident of the 10 in a row. And do you know what? That's perfectly fine. That is allowed. You're allowed to be confident of it. Why not? Stephen Welsh is now leaving the pitch. He does look like he's taking a sore one. He's a way off. Yeah, I mean, listen, he took a sore one, and that's that. I'm assuming that it might be concussion related, so I hope he is okay, even though he was at fault for the goal. Inamura, man of the match so far, 100%. What a celebrations of Welsh being injured. Guys, come on, guys. Could be a sore one, could be a bad one. Let's get off his back for 5 minutes. If it comes out that he's fine, then you can start again. Tridey over Welsh, yeah. Was it his shoulder? Was it not even his head? I'm not listening to the commentary, to be quite honest. So I can't tell you what the actual official reason he's gone off for. Celtic starting the game though with a bit of pace around them. Or starting the game back up with a bit of pace around them. Just can't get control of the ball though. It's doing a lot of bobbling about and hitting off players. As Celtic look to chase for that second goal and what would undoubtedly be the winner, you'd think, at this point. Some people just get a bit carried away, a bit of kick about game with the B team. Yeah, they do. Dunk, they absolutely do. How much is it to be a member? You can join the 118 Club for $4.99 or the Thunder Club for $6.99. Obviously completely optional. Free content is still here. I feel like we've done well with it so far. Welsh is okay from playing out from the back, but time's up. Time was up years ago, to be quite fair. How do you know how long you've been a member? I'm not actually sure, Blake. I don't know how they get them up on the screen. As a man who's not a member, I couldn't comment. I am the man who runs the channel. Corner for Celtic. We're playing it short. A lot of space opening up, though. Shoot! Shoot! Oh, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Shoot! Oh, he has shot. It's failed for somebody. He's shot it. It's blocked again. How many block shots? How many block shots? Shoot! Oh, he's put it on the fucking bar. Finishing has been abhorrently bad, by the way. But once again, this isn't first team players. It's nothing that we should be overly concerned about. Nathan, honestly, just feel bad for Welsh. Maybe the first person to say that. Honestly, just feel bad for Welsh. Can't get his career going from injury. Had potential, but was never going to play every week. Wonder where his career would be if he was at Aberdeen or Hearts in the last 3 years. I think there's two ways to look at it. I think he would have stayed fit, and we would have seen very clearly that he was nowhere near top level in Scotland. Or he would have stayed fit and done well at a club like Aberdeen or Hearts, but I don't even think he's Aberdeen or Hearts quality, to be quite honest. I don't think he'd done that well at Mechelin either. Listen, I don't want to turn this into the Stephen Welsh hate watch. Listen, I wish the best for all of them though. He's a Celtic man, and that's the main thing, and he's lived the dream. Who am I or we to judge? He's lived the dream. Get off Welsh's back. He's probably injured that as well. Aye, probably. Can't lie to you. I can't lie. You do have to be putting them away. You do need to be putting them away. Some of the finishing. It's like there's like a magnet in the ball to the legs of the Cork players, as an offside is called here, and Cork have a man down. Osmond hasn't impressed. Listen, I would be very. He hasn't impressed so far, but as I've said, he's not getting first team service. It's very, very difficult to judge a striker in a game like this so far. But I mean, finishing has to be better, of course. It is his first game in pre-season, so let him get up to speed and let him play with the better players, and then we can make a real good judgment of him. Edward, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you. Is that the last time we see Welsh in a Celtic shirt? Hope so. Thank you for your efforts, but not good enough. Chance after chance, but just like Mikey Johnson. I couldn't really word it better myself, to be quite honest. These numpties are the quotation marks future of Celtic. Extremely worrying, absolutely woeful. Awful, I should say. It's nice to see we're taking the result well. Listen, I'm going to say something that I say, I think, once a month on YouTube, whether it's on my channel or as a guest somewhere else. It's not a Celtic problem, it's a Scotland problem. We are not developing good players at the minute, and it goes from grassroots all the way through. I am really worried for the state of the national team in 10 years' time. I really, really am. The encouraging thing is there's a lot of these young players taking moves up abroad and going over and really bettering themselves, but they are the ones who are good enough. And sadly, I just don't think that there's enough that are staying here that are good enough, and that's across all. I mean, who are Rangers producing? We're the two biggest team in Scotland, and they're not producing anybody, because think about guys like Bailey Rice. I don't think he looks that good. Is he something that Rangers are going to be able to rely on for the next decade? No. Everybody's slagging my hair now. Thanks, guys. I know I'm balding, and no, I'm not going to Turkey. I'd rather go bald. Oh, Cork shoot from range. Bloody hell. Forces a big save out of Duhan. That was on target. Big save. Big save. Let's see what else. I have seen flashes from Osmond that look quality. Takes the ball at the air well. Yeah, I agree with that. I think he's done a couple of impressive turn on the ball from what I've seen so far. Let's see. What else? Am I going to Turkey? Give me peace. Is Welsh going to be what Celtic try and move forward, ball out of play again? Is Welsh going to be one of those players who's good to have around the place? Celtic need to get him going. Surely Rodgers doesn't rate him better than Navrosky. He won't rate him better than Navrosky. He's mostly been around for registration purposes in recent years. That has now come to an end. He's not needed for that, I don't think. I don't think he has that good to have around the place factor to him, but I can't comment on that. I'm not around the place. You just never really heard that. I don't know. God, he's turned into the big narrative of the second half, hasn't he? If it finishes a draw, then it's penalties. Thank you, Thomas. I did think that would be the case anyway. Still 1-0. Celtic have the ball here. Got to be quicker with the decision making, some of these young lads. They take their time. They really do take their time. Not enough. As I said, they're not vindictive. Not decisive. They need to find a more cutting edge bone in themselves to really unlock their full potential, because they take too long to make a decision. Ball on the right hand side now. It's gone all the way back. Oh, by the way, my locals, have East Kilbride signed John Lundstrom? John Lundstrom's on the ball. John Lundstrom's on the ball. He slips inside, he floats out by John Lundstrom's on the ball. That. Oh, it's one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in my life. He slips inside, he floats out by John Lundstrom's on the ball. Yeah, never seen ring. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, bloody brilliant. Would I have a go ball that? Oh, yes. Brazil! We've got Brazilian viewers in. Go up the Brazilians. Love that. Ruanzinho. Brilliant. Fantastic. Still 1-0. We are now 10 minutes left to play in the game. We're just about to cross the 80th minute mark. I'm not going to lie, fellas and ladies, of course. I don't think Celtic are going to get a goal in this next 10 minutes. We're not looking particularly clinical or threatening. In fact, I would fear Cork go up and get a goal more than Celtic get a goal. You know, this is the thing, and this is something you've got to consider here for a moment, right? Our B team are playing in the Lowland League in Scotland. The League of Ireland is significantly better than the Lowland League. Like, I would say the League of Ireland is maybe on par with, like, what, Scottish Championship, with the top end teams. And maybe top end teams in the League of Ireland are probably even lower end Premiership teams in this day and age. I'd probably give the likes of Ross County a doing. Yeah, and our lads are playing at Lowland League football. You know, it's dire stuff. And it's not good for the development of them at all. It's just... Aye, and they're not giving themselves a great showing right now, but listen, it's a pre-season friendly, and don't get carried away from it. Some of them show wee flashes here and there, and I'm not going to single anybody out because I'm watching in 480p and everybody's looking the fucking same. David Turnbull saying, not been a great game so far, but it is pre-season. I mean, we won against City and Chelsea last season, meant nothing aside from getting fitness up. Exactly. So there's no point in overreacting to anything like that. Bit of an insult fielding the B team. They're not fielding the B team for any other reason other than, like, the rest of the squad isn't ready yet. You know, this friendly was booked in pretty early, and, like, you know, Brendan Rodgers can't do anything about that, and the team can't do anything about that. There's lads that went on international duty. They need to get a holiday and get themselves, like, time off and refreshed. Like, it's I wouldn't call it an insult, you know. And if they want to do it again, make a bigger effort at it, put it later in the summer, make something out of it. But it was always going to be a training exercise. I see this always happens when you approach the last 10 minutes of a friendly, you know. Inamura at Rebel. Inamura looked great, man of the match, easily. I think, are we all on I mean, people always ask at the end of my watch-alongs, man of the match. I'll give mine out right now. Ryan Womanite, man of the match today. Hayato Inamura, easily. That's the man of the match. So, fans starting to leave now. Not even sticking around for penalties. Come on, sit your ass down. Penalty kicks are always exciting. Rodgers out. Start the Rodgers out. Yeah, it's just a training match. Cork going forward. Oh, he's knocked him. Is that a penalty? No, it's going out for a goal kick. I thought Celtic gave away a penalty there. I thought that Celtic gave away a penalty. I was ready to start laughing. Not gonna lie. I was ready to start laughing. Would have been very, very funny. Very funny. Let's have a look at it again. He's got quite lucky there. I mean, would it have been a free kick? It looked like it might have been outside the box. But I think he's got quite lucky there. I think he did clip him, to be quite honest. Rodgers out. Cam saying these lads can't control the ball or hold it. They haven't got a skibby what to do. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of critical analysis done of some of the young players. Nikaritsu saying Inamura has a bright future. I hope so. Of course I do. Derek saying, imagine selling Nawrocki, Lagerbielke and Welsh. Imagine selling Nawrocki, Lagerbielke and Welsh injured as usual. We had a mess. Is Lagerbielke like not? He's away at Braga. He's gone. Cheerio. He's not a Celtic player anymore. Derek, I don't know if you missed that. God, I hate pre-season games. I hate pre-season games as well. They are so So pointless. So pointless. Sean Fain saying when you get your chance, you have to take it. And I think, yeah, that I will kind of carry over what I said from the Queen's Park game. For as little as these games mean, and for as much you shouldn't get carried away with them, I still think it is a huge platform and opportunity for, and like some of the passing is piss poor. Look at that, terrible. It is such an opportunity to leave it, because like this is the this is not me saying this is my impression, but look at my chat right now, right? It's full of a lot of critical thinking and a lot of negativity and a lot of such and such about the B team players, and ultimately that's what you're leaving. Why you've got to leave positivity, you've got to leave something good to be said, and that's just not happening. You've got to take these chances. And nobody really has. Ball played up the park, cleared away by Cork. As Celtic gather the ball on the left-hand side, we are now approaching the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes to play in the game. The game's kind of slowed down a wee bit, a little bit stagnant on both sides of the fence as Celtic look to find a way through. Still just encroaching in now on the opposition's half. Passing from side to side, and I think I know what's about to be coming here. Going off the chat, ball played in behind. Cork deal with it. Celtic win it back. Here's the chance now. Ball sent out right. A lot of open space. The overlap's there, but he's got to curl in and take the shot, and it goes out for a Celtic corner. Celtic corner that's coming, and I think I know what the Celtic corner is about to lead to here in this live stream. I think we know what we're going to get. I think we know. I just happen to be so far behind. Shot was deflected out. Taking ages for me to get this corner kick. It's taken absolute ages. I believe we can report that it is 2-1 to Celtic. I think the chat have very clearly showed that. Here we go. Corner's finally getting taken. Ball swung in. I don't believe it. Celtic have scored from a corner kick. Do your eyes deceive you? No, they do not. Celtic have scored from a corner kick, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. 2-1 Celtic. I mean, the excitement was kind of drained out of it when the chat said it happened like 10 minutes ago, essentially. Celtic 2, Cork City 1 with 4 minutes to go. It's a great set piece. It's a brilliant set piece. And Cork have just left. I'm open at the back post there. I mean, because the first header obviously is an assist right on. Bang. Very clever. That's the kind of set pieces you want to see from Celtic, you know. So fantastic stuff. 2-1 Celtic. The B team lads have pulled one out right towards the end. Clutch fashion, clutch style. And a corner kick is fantastic to see scores from Celtic. I will not knock back the scoring of a corner kick or a set piece. Donovan is the goal scorer for Celtic. Donovan makes it 2-1 with 3 minutes left on the clock. Let's get so. Keep in mind, lads, I will be ending the stream shortly after full time. We'll stay on for 5 or so minutes just to catch up on the game and answer any loose end questions. But we are coming towards the end, so if you've got anything that you desperately want me to talk about, desperately want me to answer, then get your questions piled in, because we are approaching the last 2 minutes of the game now as Celtic look to hang on to this 2-1 lead. We win our first trophy of the season as we look for the quintuple. The Cork Super Cup is going to be coming in by the looks of things. Exactly, Philip. From the Cork Super Cup to the Champions League. That's the story of Celtic's season. You're bang on the money, Philip. Bang on the money. Cork have been great. Pre-season games are about fitness run. Yep, George. Yep, Cork gave us a challenge. Ultimately, you want a challenge. Good test for the B team, lads. Might not be a riveting watch or one to write home about or one to be even overly impressed about, but it's good to get some form of test. First trophy this season coming in. Play the 6-4-0, says Stephen. We may as well. As we come up to the end of the game, we are almost there. It was looking like it was going to be going to penalties. An 86th minute goal from Donovan makes it 2-1 Celtic with around a minute left on the clock. Was it somebody in the chat saying Murray? I believe Celtic have reported it was Donovan. The Sunshine Superman, I love that. Anybody familiar with the music of Donovan back in the 60s might get that. I'm an old soul, you know. I'm an old soul. Oh yeah, of course, the Adidas Cup and the Como Cup. God almighty, Celtic could win a lot of trophies this season, with the Adidas Cup and the Como Cup on the line. We are just about to wrap things up here in Cork. We are in the last minute of the game. Celtic scored a set piece. Luke McCowan opened the scoring, of course, in the first half with a good goal. It's a fantastic strike that burst the net to give Celtic the lead. An equaliser was then scored after a pretty foolish Stephen Welsh error, maybe feeling the effects of some form of injury, but Cork found an equaliser. It looked as though it might have been heading to penalties here in Cork, but towards the end, Celtic scored from a corner kick. Donovan was the goal scorer, making it 2-1 for Celtic with minutes to go. And with that, we wrap it up at full time. Celtic have won the game 2-1. We see it out. It's another win, a second win in pre-season for Celtic. And that takes us to the end. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend another game with you. Celtic have officially won the Cork Super Cup, which of course will be brought back in an open-top bus parade. Thousands will flock the streets tonight and tomorrow as Celtic celebrate their first trophy of the season. It was a pitch invasion I clicked off. Pitch invasion, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you to Connor for being a member for 2 months. It is much appreciated, my brother. Thank you for your loyalty. Champions again. We'll stay live for another 5 minutes or so. So if you've got any questions before we wrap up, feel free to get them in. It's been fun. Thank you as always, ladies and gents, for tuning in for a watch along. They're always great fun. We always cover a lot of nonsense, a lot of things. We are over 1,000 views at the minute. That's nuts. So a 2-1 win for Celtic. Fantastic. A pitch invasion for a friendly. It's time to pack it in, Celtic. Listen, let the people of Cork have their moment. You know, it's not often they get to experience Celtic live in the flesh. So, you know, Adidas Cup, Cork Cup, domestic treble, Champions League. It's a big season ahead, says Square Sausage Mick. Gallagate pronto, that's the message from St. Mortal. When the Celts go up to win the Cork Super Cup, we were there. We're getting memed after this, of course we are. Have you seen the rumours of a trade rumours Nolan Smith to... Yeah, I have seen it. I hope it doesn't. I like Nolan Smith. I don't want Nolan Smith to go, to be quite honest. But I've seen rumours about him, a couple of trades this past week. Cheers, Ryan. Nice one. Thank you for joining in, Frankie. It's always appreciated. Find them all. Getting all their selfies with the B team. Listen, big moment for the B team. Some of them will never experience anything like this again. Think of it like that. You know, big moment. Get the lot banned. That's it. Ban them. Get them all out. Never let them. I don't want to see them at Celtic Park ever again. I want them banned for life. You know. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up because I haven't even had my dinner. I'm fucking starving. I'm not going to lie to you. My stomach is rumbling. I am choking for some food. So I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you for tuning in to another live watch along. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. Thank you to Matthew, who's been a member for 6 months as well. But thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who was simply just watching for some company tonight. It's always a pleasure. We will be back for the next pre-season. Hold on, let me check before I go. Let me see. Celtic fixtures. The next watch along will be on Wednesday, July 16th as Celtic plays Sporting Lisbon. I will not be live for the game against Estrela Amadora this weekend. It's behind closed doors, for goodness sake. If you think tonight's game was pretty boring, wait till you see that one. So we'll be back on Wednesday next week for the Sporting Lisbon friendly, which is where things really get interesting. We're playing Champions League calibre sides now. Sporting Lisbon, Newcastle United and Ajax. We have 3 big games before our season kickstarts. So thank you for tuning in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure.